All right, welcome everyone. My name is Amy Edwards. I'm with Team Sunset. I am a platinum consultant. I've been in the business for about actually it's going on 3.5 years now. I got started in December of 2019. I am from Michigan. My specialty, I would consider myself, would be family travel or sometimes groups travel. I've done quite a few group trips. But I really like family specialists because I have a large family and I come from a large family. So today we're going to be talking about vacation rentals, booking houses, condos, and cabins around the world. I know sometimes that can get a little bit frustrating doing those bookings because when we think of houses, condos, and cabins, a lot of times we think of the VRBO and Airbnb. As travel agents, those platforms are not set up for us to use. They want them to be used by the occupant directly because they have all of those forms and all of those contracts that need to be signed. And so it can get a little bit difficult, especially if your client is looking at that inventory and then asking to see if you can book them. So I'm going to go over some ways to kind of go around that. And then I'm going to show you a couple of ways, if we can find a few really good examples about how you can book those same homes as well. Because usually when people list a vacation home, they don't just list it with VRBO or with Airbnb. A lot of times they list it across multiple platforms to make sure that it gets the exposure it needs to be rented. And Airbnb and VRBO are really popular, but it is common to have it under other platforms also. So we are going to go ahead and get started. Thank you for putting all your information in the chat box. I always like to meet new people, see new faces, so that's exciting. I apologize, I cannot turn on my video. I still have not gotten the Zoom update that fixes that error with HP computers. So hopefully I get that soon, and so we can all meet face to face. All right, so I'm going to talk about 3 different categories, and I'd be more than happy to answer some questions as well. The first one I'm going to talk about is just your standard vacation homes. Where can you book vacation homes, especially in popular areas? This may not always work with vacation homes in, smaller areas or maybe, cabins. I'm from Michigan, and so we don't have a huge inventory of vacation rentals. So you may not find them on the larger sites, but I'm going to show you how to be able to book those as well. The 3 that I really like to use are Plum Guide, and I'm going to give you all of these links as well, and I'll put them in the recorded version of this training. We have Plum Guide, Vacasa, and Expedia, and I'm going to show you how to use each one of them and then where to get registered. So it's pretty quick. We're not going to go all the way through a booking, but I like to show you how to get registered and some of the different types of inventory that they have. The next one that I'm going to show you is going to be more of your luxury homes. These are more of your high end, whether they be for larger homes or larger groups of people. We have villas of distinction, which is really nice for Hawaii. Red awning as well. They have a lot in Hawaii, as well as a lot in the Caribbean as well. And then cabins. So you're talking about Pigeon Forge, Colorado, all of the different sites that I've given have that inventory. But the nice thing about like Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, Colorado, Montana, where there's a large cabin inventory, a lot of times I just use Google. I do quick Google searches like cabins in Gatlinburg that work with travel agents. Just that quick Google search can really bring up a lot of different options. And you have to remember always with being a travel agent, in the travel cafe, we have about 30 preferred vendors, but we work with hundreds of vendors and suppliers. And even though it's not listed on there as a preferred vendor, almost all management companies understand that travel agents are a necessity. And so just by calling management companies or even hosts, they can give you either a really good deal so that you can add in a daily commission or an instant commission, or they can work with you as a travel agent and then get your IATA number, which of course is our Archer's IATA number, and then they can send you commission because they know that travel agents are a necessity. So a lot of us forget that we can simply just search Google to find a good vendor to use. Give them a call and ask them if they work with travel agents. So that's one of the key things that I would like everyone to remember, is that is absolutely a possibility. So I'm going to go through a few of these different ones. And then first, I want to make sure that I give all of these links to you in the chat box. Probably everyone already has Expedia, but I always like to make sure that I share all of that. So if you want to copy and paste out of the chat box, there are 5 there that I think are really good options. And again, we have quite a few. So the first one that I want to show you is going to be Plum Guide. Plum Guide's kind of a new one for us. I believe it's based out of Vegas, but they do have destinations around the world. Getting signed up with Plum Guide. Let me move my controls here out of the way. So you're going to go to plumguide.com/partnership. Over here, I could sign out just to show you, but you basically just sign in using your email. It looks like close to the same platform that VRBO and Airbnb use. So again, I just signed up using my Gmail account. Plum Guide, I think, took about 1 or 2 days to get access to it. But it was pretty quick to get access. And you also have a contact at Plum Guide if you have any trouble getting into their account or using their site. If you have any questions about what the commission is that you get, they are really, really helpful. So let's see. It looks like here you just click on sign up today, and then you're going to use your Google account to log in and log out. All the different destinations, if I click these destinations and I go to view all, you can see that there are a ton of different destinations that they have, and then you can narrow it down. Over here, it's going to default to pounds. I'm not really sure why it does that, but then as soon as you change it to US dollars, it should bounce back every time you switch screens. But you can search a lot of times just like you do VRBO. One that I use a lot and that I book a lot is in Orlando. So again, you just select the area. Try not to be too specific. As you've seen, there's quite a few options that popped up. If you wanted to be close to Disney, you could actually put in there, you know, Orlando area or the Kissimmee area that's a little bit closer. I've never used the flexible option. It looks like that's a new option, so that's something you could definitely use. So I'm just going to choose June 1st through the 6th. And then we are going to go with 2 adults and 2 kids. Now, if you have large groups or if you have more than 2 adults and 2 kids, I honestly try to keep it kind of small, because if you start getting a lot of guests on there, a lot of the homes do go away, even if they hold 6 guests. You know, if you put in 6 guests and a baby, that's considered 7. And so you may not have some options pop up that you'd really like. Or with the pets, I don't usually put a +1 for pets on there, but what I'll do is I'll find a couple that I like and I'll see if the owners are flexible with pets. So if you put in a lot of different search features and you don't get anything, make sure to back those up just a little bit. You have many different sort features and filters that you can add on to this as well. But as you can see here, there are a lot of different options, and a lot of them look like that VRBO inventory. This one is free cancellations. You can flag them to save them to your favorites. So you have all of these different options. And then I want you to look and always notice that almost all properties have this catchy title. See these here? Now the Disney ones and the Gatlinburg ones, they kind of sometimes look the same, but they usually have a pretty offbeat, unique title. I want you to remember those because we are going to use those just to Google as well. So when I show you VRBO, we're going to show you how to use Google to find other listings. So that's pretty simple. Again, to book it, you're just going to click on it. You're going to see all of the resources that the property has, all of the rules and guidelines. And I know when we travel with ourselves as a family and we go to a hotel or we go to a vacation home, even though we have 6 people, we try to fit it into one room, right? Try to save all of our money, cut all those costs. But as a travel agent, you do not want to do that. You want to make sure if it sleeps 6 that you only have 6. A lot of times with vacation homes, they have cameras on the exterior. It's for a couple of reasons. For security and to make sure there isn't too many because they don't want to have 15 teenagers in a property that holds 4. They don't want it to affect their neighbors if there is any. They don't want to have, the chance of any parties or anything being ruined. And so it's really, really, you really have to be respectful of their occupancy limits. And let's say for this one, it sleeps 6, but you have 6 and 2 infants or 6 and a baby. You can definitely reach out to these property owners directly and you can ask them if that's okay. All right. Any questions so far on that? So for Plum Guide, I put in my company name and website, and then I believe it asks you for an affiliate and IATA number. And then you could put Archer's information in there. All right, and these are nice too because they do have the cancellation, and many of them, see how here it has the half now and the rest later. So you can pay to secure it, and then in 30 days you can, whatever their terms are, be able to pay the rest of that. And then I believe, I haven't used Plum Guide in a little while, but I believe it does, yes, ask the host about their home. So this is where you would ask those questions. And then when they answer you, it's going to come as like a chat message in the Plum Guide app. And it's going to go to your email. But this is really neat because you can easily copy and paste this to a quote. All right.
Where this is the website we use to look up like houses and condos and stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. That's what we're going over today.
Okay. So it's just plumguide.com.
Plumguide.com /partnership. And then you're going to click on this sign up today option. And then it's going to ask you to put in your name, your company name, and your website, as well as your email. And then once you start booking with them, they will ask you for Archer's information. In fact, I think Plum Guide actually reached out to me via phone to set up my account.
Okay, so plumguide.com /partnership.
Yes. Yep. I put all the links there in the chat box that you can copy from.
Okay. Thank you.
So another one that I like to use for just standard vacation rentals in any locations is Vacasa. And for some reason I closed that link, but I have that link in the chat box for you as well. So again, you just seen me Google Vacasa for travel agents, and I pretty much use Google a whole lot when I find a property that I like and I see who it's listed under, or I look for the actual management company. So Vacasa is a collection of a lot of different management companies. They do a lot of condos versus home rentals. So they have a ton of condos. Destin, Florida is really popular for them. Along the ocean side, Louisiana, those kind of places where you pretty much have more condos along the beach than you do have the actual individual homes. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in And I got to remember how I signed into this one. I was signed in earlier and I must have closed it. I may have actually signed in with Facebook for this one. The nice thing about Vacasa too is if you find something on vacasa.com that isn't on the Vacasa for travel agents, it actually allows you to call them and they will convert it over for you to the travel agent side. So they'll convert your booking over to the travel agent side. I'm not really sure why there are some on one and some on the other. But if you need help with that, they will help you. If you call Vacasa, they are super nice. They are super helpful. All right, so this one's going to give me a little bit of trouble here. Okay, so maybe I won't be able to log in, but I can show you how to get registered. So Vacasa Tour and Travel Partners, so it's the travel agent partner program. You are going to open it up from that link that I provided. That's weird because I just used this the other day. Up here under my account, you're going to click on the login and sign up. And then you are going to use, you're going to fill this out right here. Ready to partner with Vacasa, contact us to get started. So you're going to put in your name, your agency name and website. You're going to put in Archer's IATA. It says, are you a part of a host agency? Yes, you are. You're going to put in Archer Travel. And then you are going to put in your address information, your email, and your phone number. After you click submit, you usually get access in about a day or two. It's going to email you that you are approved to log in. And the Vacasa for travel agent side looks a lot like the Vacasa for just the regular client side that you can access from the public. And I apologize that it's just not letting me get access here. Let me try to see if I can sign in just with Google. Oh, there it goes. Okay. So now I'm logged in there. And now, as I said, I can search for any of the different properties. If I go to vacation rental management. Nope, that's not the one. I apologize. They just updated their site, and so it looks just a little bit different. Okay, there we go. So again, we can go to Orlando. What did I say? It would be June 1st through the 6th. And you want to make sure before you complete any of these bookings that you know what your commission is. As a travel agent, it's very important to know what your commission is before you complete that booking. Jean, you put your address. So I put my company's name and then I put Archer as my host agency and their IATA number. All right, so here is what Vacasa looks like. They have a ton of inventory. They have a lot of inventory. And again, it's mostly condos. You can search on their map or you can find their property and see once again how they have those catchy titles: World Quest Wonderland, Vibrant Waters, Unit 3604. If I click on one of these, I can then get more details just like the other ones that we were looking at. So I can see all the photos. One thing I found with this that I'm not really a huge fan of is when they have condos, they kind of have multiple photos of different condos. So I always tell my client, this is what it is, a standard setup, but you may not get the unit, you know, that has this exact couch or has this exact setup. Um, I wish that they wouldn't put all of the condo photos in one listing. I wish this would be this exact condo, but just keep that in mind, okay, when you're sending photos, that they may not get that exact setup. As you scroll down, again, it shows you your occupancy, your bed setup, any details. Again, remember this one is dog friendly, so I didn't even have to search with the pets. And then I can see everything about the home. I can see the reviews about the home, which is really nice. And then if there was a management company, some of these houses are ran by a direct management company. I could also see that management company's name. So maybe if I liked their home, but it was booked, or there was a 1-day gap where I wanted to get one more day added onto my booking, I could maybe reach out to that management company directly and say, okay, you have a Vacasa, Disney World, you know, the World Quest Wonderland rental. It's listing number 74294. There is 1 day that's overlapping. Do you have anything similar to that I can get, or do you, is that day really overlapping? Are you keeping it open for COVID requirements? You know, what are the details about that property? So here is another way. Another thing you can look at is see how have the pricing details. You can see what part of it is fees, what part of it is taxes. Every once in a while, you can negotiate this pricing. So don't ever be afraid to negotiate that pricing a little bit. And then Vacasa usually pays 8% commission. And then the commission is actually on the rental. So your commission isn't figured on the fees or the taxes. It's figured on this discounted rental portion. So if it isn't listed directly, as you see here, you could always call Vacasa and say, I want to confirm my commission amount for this property. And they will absolutely tell you what that is. Rebecca, I've noticed with the photos, on a lot of the condo rentals, they put like 3 different living room types or 3 different, bedroom types. And I'm wondering if it's because they choose your exact unit when you arrive. I don't like it. And in fact, sometimes I've called Vacasa and I've said, okay, this is the unit they want with this exact setup. And they have assured me that they will get that unit. So just pay attention in the photos that there isn't, you know, 3 different living rooms. I'm sorry. No, you don't click on vacation rental management. I was wrong there. You just click on the Vacasa portion and look up those properties. All right. So that's how you use Vacasa. They're pretty much all set up the same in their search features and in the way that they list their homes. The key thing is you always want to know what your commission is. So make sure that you know the commission amount you're getting, whether you're calling them. Some of them do have it listed in the pricing. I always tell people before you quote, go all the way to the book now. Go all the way to the end because you want to know exactly what they're going to be charged. You want to make sure all the taxes and fees are listed in here. And then it'll ask you to put in your client's information. So your rental agreement is going to be with your client and not with you directly. So there's more inventory there. Okay, so now I want to talk about Expedia Tap and VRBO. So Expedia Tap does have a lot of the VRBO inventory. It's really great. I wish there was, we used to have Classic Vacations that had a lot of that inventory as well, that we could use. However, remember with Expedia Tap, you only get 50% commission. So I try at all costs not to use Expedia Tap unless it's like a quick 1 or 2 night hotel bookings or a car rental that's going to be really quick. and just a difference of a matter of a few dollars. Then I'll use it because I like Expedia Top for its ease of use. So when you're looking up vacation homes with Expedia Top, again, we'll do Orlando. This time we'll do the July 1st through July 6th. I like it when it's out a little further. Also know that when you book something in less than 90 days, they're almost always going to want payment up front. If your vacation is more than 90 days out, typically vacation homes or condos, they'll do like a certain percentage down and then the final payment date. So anytime that you're looking vacation rental homes, I don't care if 2 people are going or 10 people and 3 dogs, you always use 2 travelers. I don't know what it is about Expedia, but that's when all of the homes pop up. So always use 2 travelers, and then you are going to see how many people are allowed in the vacation rental. So we're going to go to search. And Expedia Tap has done some upgrades too. As you can see, they're moving to a new website in May. So I'm not really sure how that's going to change this or if it will, but just so everyone knows, they are moving to a new website. All right, so on the left here in your filter features, if you scroll all the way down here, you're going to see vacation rental bedrooms. You can also go to property type, click see more, and you can click on villa or house or condo resort or apartment. I usually try to do the vacation rental bedrooms. So for this one, we'll do just a 2-bedroom to have a few options that show up. All right, so these are going to show the different resorts. This one is another resort, but I know this one has the 2-bedroom condos. This has entire condos. Vacation resort here as well. Let's see. Some of them, they have individual homes. I don't know if this one's, yeah, this one's an entire home. So 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and Kissimmee. And again, if you ever want to see what your commission is with Expedia Tap, you can always click on the premium option here. It's going to tell you it's an 11% premium tier. So what tells you that it's premium is, see the orange circle with the line. If there's 1 line, it's basic. If there's 2 lines, it's basic plus, and then all the way up to 4 lines for premium. Let me see, I'm going to open it. Expedia took some of their capability to actually see the dollar amount away for commission. Because again, it's figured 11% on the actual property total, not on the taxes and fees. But every once in a while, if you open it up, give that a second to open. It will let you actually choose a room type sometimes. And when you choose the actual room type, it'll tell you the exact dollar amount of your commission. Let me look. And again, as you can see, you have your about your host. So this is the host of this property. I don't know if my internet just isn't loading it or if they aren't giving that contact information, but sometimes they have direct information about your host. Let me see if they have the room type selection. Yeah, so this one does not. So you're not going to be able to actually see, oh wait, yes it does. It has it over here on the right. So when you click the I here next to the basic plus, that is your commission amount. And then you're going to get 50% of that. And then it's going to explain it, everything about the payments. This one's nice. It's fully refundable before the 18th. Looks like this one. And again, you can either generate a quote or you can click reserve. I always go all the way to the end to reserve to see the actual payment details, whether it's going to hold funds or whether it's going to charge their card entirely. Let's see. Yes, this one looks like it's going to charge their card the whole amount, the $1714.97. Everybody understand how to use the only 2 occupants when searching with Expedia Tap? Rebecca, so the 50% commission, with other vendors, with all the other vendors, you get 80% of commission. So whatever the commission payout is that vendor's paying, you're gonna have 80% deposited to your account. With Expedia, you're gonna have 50%. Do the properties get to choose the commission price, or is that standard across the board? So with Expedia, it's pretty standard across the board. With the other vendors, I'm honestly not sure what the property owners deal is with those vendors. Like with Vacasa, I'm not really sure who chooses the commission amount there. But I always just like to make sure agents know what the commission amount is up front. All right, let's look at the more luxury type bookings. So the first one we can do is Red Awning. Again, it's Travel Pro or redawning.com/Travel Pro. And let me show you how to get signed up there. And again, I do my famous search, Red Awning for travel agents. So here is the Red Awning Travel Pro. Oh yes, it's gonna sign me in, it looks like, which is okay. I'm gonna go ahead and log out to show you how to get started. So from Red Awning, you're gonna click on request an account. And you're gonna fill out this Google form with all of your information. Here, you're gonna put the IATA number. You can select all of these. I actually selected everything so that I had access to everything. How did you hear about us? Your host agency recommended the site. And then you're going to click next. And then it's going to also send you a username and password to use Red Awning. If I remember, Red Awning came pretty quickly, almost the same day. But again, that was a couple of years ago. So make sure you watch for it. Anytime I register with a new client or with a new vendor, I always make sure that I write it down to watch and make sure that I get that approval and that username and password. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and sign in. All right, and here are what Red Awning has. So again, if you have reservations, you can see the reservation. You can see a recently viewed, which I really like, especially if you're looking at 4 or 5 different options. I believe they allow you to heart some of these properties. We can see when we go into there. So again, you have top locations such as Destin, Hawaii, we have Orlando, we have Aspen, so many different opportunities, but these are more higher end, and a lot of them are for larger groups. So just as an example for this one, we can use Hawaii. And it's going to give you all of these different details, all of these different homes that are available, how much they are per night. Oh, there's a lot more inventory than there was. I actually did a booking about 6 months ago. So you have, 4 bedroom, 4 bath, 1 bedroom, 1 bath. So you have a lot of large and a lot of small properties. And you can reduce this by using our June 1st through June 6th date. And then you have all of these different options you can select. Okay, so we'll select just the first one here that pops up. And I apologize, I don't know Red Awning's direct commission rate. But as you can see here, oh, it kind of went away. It did say Archer Travel on there, so it knows that I am with Archer Travel. Again, here are the photos that you can send to your clients. Make sure to look through all of them, and they aren't just standard photos of all the properties. Locations, any of their descriptions of their properties, any special terms that you have here, as well as a nice map. I always send this to clients because they like to see where it is in relation to the islands. And then this one. So this one, oh, it is. It does have the unique label. So the nautical theme garden view studio and Kona Islander in Condos. So you know, they do have a label for that property. Here are your rental fees, your cleaning fees, your taxes, and your service fees. And then let me see, I might have to scroll all the way down to see that. Oh, here's your commission. So your commission is going to be spelled out right there in the red box. And this one, because the trip is so close, they're asking for the full price. So again, very easy way to do that booking. And then yes, so it's not considered harding it. You can add it to folders. So you can create folders for individual clients, and you can put those properties in those folders. And you can create a PDF brochure as well if you'd like to get a little bit more fancy with that. Any questions so far? All right, and then the last one that we are going to look at is the Villas of Distinction. So Villas of Distinction for travel agents. I put that link in the chat box there. I'm going to go ahead and open that up so I can show you how to get registered. So for this one, let's see. Oh yeah, for this one, we have to contact Steve to get registered. What's really nice is once you're registered with the Villas of Distinction, they actually send you, I believe it's weekly newsletters of properties that they're highlighting, ways to market their properties, and ways to market as a travel agent directly. So that's pretty great way to get signed up. Nice resources. I think the Contact Steve actually brings you here to register as a travel advisor. So you can put in your first name, your last name, your email, your phone number, your agency name, Archer Travel, and then I'm sorry, this is your agency name. And then your consortia or affiliation is just going to be Consortia is Travel Leaders Network, or you could put host agency Archer Travel. And then they'll contact you to get that additional information with the IATA and then who they should pay. I think Villas of Distinction took me the longest to get approved. I think it may have taken about 3 to 4 days. But as I said, they give you a lot of nice resources after you get that all approved. Oh, looks like somebody's coloring on the screen here. Hold on just a second. There we go. So with the Villas of Distinction, you can select your different destinations all over the world that they have here. I like to use Villas of Distinctions for properties outside of the US. I think that they work the best for that. I'm working on one actually in Greece. So we'll just leave that with Greece in general. Let's see if it'll let me choose all the locations. So let's do one that's kind of further out. So we'll do August 1st through the 6th. And then we'll do 2 guests, 1 bedroom. All right, so they couldn't find any directly, but we can just look at these ones too. So this one is 14 guests, 7 bedrooms, and 9 bathrooms, a huge property. Summer Place on the beach in Jamaica. The nice thing about these properties is you can actually use these as a mock booking for things like family reunions or wedding parties. Just something to show that with 14 guests at $18.86 a night, see what that would work out to be per guest. That's $134 a night per guest. They could stay in this huge home right on the beach. St. Martin, very popular, Virgin Islands, 8 guests, 4 bedrooms, $1,200 a night. Most of these look like they have their own private pool, which is really neat. So when you split it up per guest, that's really nice. This one, wow, France, $12,107 a night for 18 guests. That might be a little much, but for a trip to France, you may pull in some really, really good clients if you book this property. So these are really top of the line luxury. Wow, I've never seen one this big either. 28 guests, 14 bedrooms, $2,600 a night. That's less than $100 a night per guest. Imagine staying here with your close friends and family at less than $100 a night. These are really, really nice properties. I haven't looked at these in a really long time. So that's how to get registered and start booking through the Villas of Distinction. Again, we can open one up. You can just pick one randomly. Look to see if it shows what the actual commission amount is. There's your overview. You can submit an inquiry to the property owner there, and you can let them know that you're the travel advisor. Let's see. It looks like you do have to submit an inquiry to get all the final pricing details. And then I wouldn't hesitate a minute to call Villas of Distinction and say, okay, if I book this property, what is my commission going to be? Any questions on the Villas of Distinction? Do you know if there are any hidden fees, like how some all-inclusive hotels charge extra per night? If there was, it should definitely be spelled out in here. Any all-inclusive, any hidden, anything should never be hidden. I always read through this entire property to make sure that if they rent a car, they're not paying an extra 50 a night, or if they decide to do their laundry, there isn't extra service fees. I always make sure that my clients know upfront what's included and what they may be charged for. What is the best practice to contact the property for clients to pay they directly to book? So I don't ever have my clients contact the properties to make payments. I do all of those payments. I have never had a client tell me that they would like to contact the property directly. I don't hear that very often at all. And you as the travel agent, you just have to have that authority and that trust and that confidence that they know that you know what you're doing. Do I know if I can purchase rental insurance, and is it possibly mandatory? Almost all of these offer rental insurance. Almost every vacation home I've ever booked offers their insurance. I always strongly recommend it. But if the client decides that they do not want that type of insurance or to purchase that, I have them sign a form that they have declined the travel insurance. I make sure that it is listed on the credit card authorization form. I make sure that they have it in writing via email, and I have them sign an actual form. All right, so now let's look at like the Gatlinburg area. So there are so many different places that you can book for. So what I'll do, let's see. Cabin rental, Gatlinburg, Tennessee. We'll do 4 travel agents. And then here's where I start. JacksonMountain.com. You can search their property. It looks like they work with travel agents. And then I'll just give them a quick call. I'll ask in the chat groups, ask in your chat groups, who has booked a cabin in Gatlinburg and what did you use? All of the options that I give you, almost all of them have vacation homes and rentals in Gatlinburg. But if you have a specific property, almost all of the places in Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge are ran by management companies. Very few of them are by individual owners who don't have the management companies. So you can always call and ask them. But this is going to give you a really good listing. Cabins of the Smoky Mountains. They work with travel agents. They actually pay travel agents commissions. They send it to Archer. So using those quick Google searches. And then as a comparison, I am going to actually go to the VRBO. So Villas of Distinction, when you click on that link for Villas of Distinction, you go all the way to the bottom and it'll allow you to register. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm not even gonna log in for that one. I actually have an owner login because I used to rent campers through VRBO, but mine looks a little different, so I won't do that. Okay, so let's use Gatlinburg as an example. So we're gonna use Gatlinburg. We are going to do, we're gonna go a little bit farther for this one. We're gonna do August 1st through the 6th, and then we're gonna do 2 guests. All right, so let's kind of open a few just to look through them. So anyway, this one's called Couples Dream Cabin, new LED hot tub, Wi-Fi, King Master Suite, and outdoor grill. Let's open it up and see who the host is. That's the kind of the first thing that I look for. So this one is a private host. It is hosted by Angela Ween. If my clients like this property, or if this property I know is a magical fit for my clients, but I can only find it on VRBO, I'll click here on contact host. I'll let them know I'm a travel agent and I'll ask them 2 questions. First question is, do they have a platform that they rent on that will allow for will allow for commissions? And then I'll say, do you work with travel agents at all? Or, my client really likes your property, but their budget is $1,300. Sometimes they'll come back and say, I can do $1,300. And I'll say, great. Here is their username for VRBO. Can you extend that deal? And then from there, they'll have the property for $1,300 and it'll allow me $294 to get that instant commission. So I can, not only do I need to be worried about receiving commission from the vendor, But if that vendor or that host agency doesn't have an or a way to send me commissions, I can charge commission outside of that booking. Understanding that any time that you're booking like this and you're charging commission outside of the booking, Archer Travel is not responsible for that booking because you're not using their IATA number. So I always make sure to specifically state it's non-refundable. You know, we are going through the protections of VRBO because they're gonna actually secure this through VRBO with paying me a fee outside of that VRBO. Does that make sense to everyone? I want to make sure you know that when you're not using Archer's IATA and you're not registering as an agent with Archer Travel, that you are not protected by their fraud protections and their errors and omission. Doesn't mean you can't do it, just means you have to be very cautious to say, you know, this is something that I am doing for you that is going to be considered as non-refundable. So if anything happens, you know, you can purchase the insurance through VRBO. For any consortia that you're asked, you can use Travel Leaders Network, or you can say a host agency of Archer, or I'm sorry, an independent agent of Archer Travel. So Jean, that's a really good question. Can you use Tinleg? I would be curious to know that myself. If you do a quote through here and you were to call Tinleg, they would definitely let you know if you can use them or not. Really good question, Jean. We would have to find that out. So now I want to just to show you how those those taglines or those property names work. So I'm going to go ahead and search one in Orlando because they usually have those catchy property tags. All right, so let's look for one. Let's see. Let's try to use this one, see if this one works. So Sonder Point or Sonder at the Point, King Suite with balcony. Well, that one's an actual link. So let me open it up. All right, we're going to copy this. And then I'm just going to go to Google to see if it's listed anywhere else. So that was on VRBO. And a lot of them use the same name across all the platforms. So I get past the ad portions. So it looks like Sonder has its own management company. So you see that, how I can get it through VRBO. But if VRBO can't do inventory or can't do work with travel agents, I can do that quick Google search and I can call Sonder to see if they can work with travel agents or if they have any commission payout. I never use booking.com. Looks like it is listed on Expedia, so it'd probably be on Expedia Tap. I'm not familiar with Agoda, but you could see if Agoda works with travel agents. But be really careful doing that. Here's the listing for VRBO. So I just look for ones that I know that I have worked with in the past. As you can see, it's on Airbnb as well. And that's about it. So this is a really good example because it looks like Sonder.com is its management company. So I could go into here. I can look and see what they have it for. And a lot of times it takes out the fees, the VRBO, and is a lot cheaper. And then I could see what rates they have it for. Looks like they have a few different ones available. And then I can call that Sonder to see if they work with travel agents. So just to compare, this one looks like King Suite with balcony. We did August 1st through the 6th, and it's $987.85. So let's see if it's listed on here. Here's the King Suite with a balcony. We're gonna do August 1st through the 6th. And I think we did 2 guests. See how this one's 801? So you've already now, just by searching that title, have saved $186 there. That could actually be your commission. Again, go to book to make sure you're comparing apples to apples. Make sure after this screen, they don't charge any fees. So no, it goes to 80105. So now you can, that says 15% off the member rate. So we have to make sure if they can become a member, if we can become a member. But now you can contact them, let them know you're a travel agent. And now you get this for $187 cheaper than VRBO. That's a really good example. The very first one I picked, that usually never happens. So do you see what I mean about you can search by those property names just to get a feel for if it's listed for anywhere else. Let's see if I can find another one. This one's a pretty unique name, the Grin and Bear It over Mountain. Sometimes those hearts and stars mix it up a little bit, but oops, hold on, that one didn't copy. All right, so this one's listed on Expedia, VRBO. That one's got a different title. There is just a Google. You could look at this one, Chalet over Gatlinburg. They may be a management company that works with travel agents. Let's see what this one is. Yeah, this one's listed with Holiday Lettings. I don't know if that's a management company, but that would be something that you could definitely look into to see if it was the same property and to see if there was an actual management company that runs it. Looks like, yeah, that one's an individual host. But sometimes I even go into much detail as Googling who this is. I might search Google hosted by Adrena Thorpe, and then I may see that she works for a property management company. Or after you contact them, sometimes their signature in their email will say, you know, Adrena Thorpe, Premier Management Company, and then you can Google the Premier Management Company and see if you can find it through there without some of these fees, because VRBO has fees. They have the host fees. So sometimes you can cut out that actual host fee and a lot of times the service fee. Any questions? I kind of went over all the things I want to go over. I know it's a lot of information, but I wanted to show you some places where you can find that vacation home cabins inventory, how you can look it up, how you can use Google, and how you can compare the prices on VRBO to the management company sites or in the other sites that we have. A lot of times with the Gatlinburg and the Pigeon Forge, it'll actually pull up to a management company that we work with as travel agents. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, and then I am going to open up for any questions.